Hey guys, it's Chris Prefontaine. I am with High 6 Associate Claudia Dill out of sunny Arizona while I have the heat behind my chair on because I'm freezing here in New England. So thanks for showing me the sun, Claudia. For the deal structure video this week, I wanted to show these guys, Claudia, what we've been calling as a group a pivot, which means we had a tenant buyer in a house, life happened, they had to get out, and then we had a pivot, and that means all different things depending on what time frames are left. So with that as a backdrop, welcome and thanks for jumping on.
Thanks, Chris.
Let's do, what was the source for us of this? Because I definitely forgot. Like, do you remember the source?
I do. This was a friend of mine who knew the sellers and knew that they were moving and had to sell, and they had essentially no equity in the house. So what they did, she referred me to them. I went over, did the talk with them. It sounded like the right thing for them because they were in a hurry. And we worked out a deal where we gave them a little bit of money to move once that they were going to get after we placed somebody in the house. And so it worked very well. And that component of it worked out very well. I
do remember that now. So this is actually coming back to me. So, and I remember you and I came up with our very well thought out moving number of like, was it like 1,800 and change or 22 or
2375?
2375, because our formula, that's a perceived formula, said that.
Yes. That's right.
And just for the guys, the folks listening, we do that a lot because you don't want, it takes away a lot of the negotiation when you say to a seller, we squeeze the numbers, we don't normally do that, and here's what our metrics allowed us to do. And they're just less apt to negotiate. Whereas if Claudia said, here's 2,500, they'd be like, well, no, I want 3, just round numbers. So then, okay, in that first one, before they kind of pooped out on us, what was the payday 1 on that? Do you remember roughly?
Yes, payday 1 was 10.5.
10.5 was good. And we gave
$20,
20, whatever that away. We gave some of that moving money away out of that.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. And then payday 2 every month was how much?
Every month was spread was 190, and it was projected to go for 24 months maximum. She was had been evaluated as an 18 to 24, I believe it was, or 12 to 18. Yeah. I don't recall exactly.
Yep.
Bottom line is that out of that amount, we did profit 4560, so approximately $15,000 total.
Yeah. Okay. So 15, they have a life event, which we've had buyers happen, and then you have to evict them, and then they eventually get out.
Right.
And then because our term, how many months do we have left? It was short.
At that time, when that first happened, we had about 12 months, 11 months left by the time, actually about 10 months left by the time they were gone.
So if I recall, we put it on conventional sale and rent own, right? Just in case. Just so they hear what a pivot means, because Claudia would gladly go, okay, I can sell it out, or I can find a tenant buyer that can qualify within that time, which is possible.
That was exactly right. Yes.
And lo and behold, that's what you found.
Yes. Just about the time I was ready to just forget about the rent to own, I found some folks who were going to be able to qualify. I had 8 months left, and they are very happy. We're very happy. They haven't even moved in yet because they're finishing up a semester elsewhere, and then they'll be moving in mid-January.
And go over the numbers there. I have chicken scratch here from our call yesterday, and I think I got them all right. But you have your payday. Like, what's payday 1?
Payday 1 was $8,300.
Yep.
Payday 2, if it goes the full 8 months, which it may not, may or may not, is approximately $1,900.
Yeah, so that was like $200 something a month, $242.
$242, correct.
Yeah, great. That's good. So you improved that actually. I didn't catch that.
Oh, that and the sale price, because the values around that neighborhood went up way far. Original was $199,900, and now it's $2,099.
Okay, but that's a cool pivot. I missed that yesterday too, but that's good for the listeners to hear. So you can usually, unfortunately for the buyer, you can usually turn it into a very big positive for you as a business person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And then payday 3?
Payday 3 came out to, it looks like 48,239. So overall, we're looking at around 58.5.
Yeah, 58.5 plus the original 15, so you're at like 72 grand on this house.
Yeah.
That's a $200,000 house. That's pretty
Right.
cool.
Right.
Yeah, I like
Very
it. I was gonna say something about man, I dropped something about the buy, but anyway, anything else that was different? Oh, the cost to get them out, 2 or 3 grand maybe.
Yes, the actual, that process and the follow-up care of the home, yes, about 3 grand.
All right, so call it
Plus
69
had to
instead of
pay the
72.
mortgages.
Sorry.
Had to pay 3 months more, 4 months mortgage
Yeah,
payments.
empty.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when they're not paying. Okay, so all in all, a win. You just have to. This is a good point too. So you just have to be prepared with either cash reserves or
Right.
credit lines. In my
Right.
opinion, both. And for the people watching this video, you can and should go to Investor Resources, get your butt enrolled with LendCred and or Fund and Grow. I would do both. I have a video there, so I won't repeat it now. And also make sure you keep your payday 2s building up as soon as you can. I understand when people come in, they have to, as you know, Claudia, run a business, you got to live. So as soon as you get your bills met, let those number two paydays sit in an account. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was this was my first house on the program, and I did not have a reserve. I certainly will from now on. I did, however, have business lines of credit, so
Right.
that helped out a whole bunch.
Yeah, it's a necessity. And then and when it's too late, meaning if you wait till it's too late, it's too late.
It's too late.
Do it sooner. Yeah.
That's one of many, many lessons learned in this particular situation.
Cool. Well, I wish I could say to the listeners, like most teachers say, it's easy. You just do this, this, and this, but there are nuances, and we all talk about them all the time openly. Speaking of that, comment, we just got off last night. Now, by the time they see this, it won't be last night, but last night, as of now, we got off of a high 6 mastermind. And as some of these guys won't know who are watching, we've added Zoom mastermind meetings quarterly in between the live mastermind meetings we have just for high 6. Any comments on that? We haven't talked live since last night, you and I.
That was, it was actually even better than I expected. I expected great stuff because I know the folks involved. I know their friends. We communicate on the regular masterminds often, but it was so much more than that. Nuggets here, nuggets there, going through, everybody had an opportunity to express an objection, and it was, I took a lot of notes, and it was just lots of things I'm actually going to use. My personal note, my personal obstruction or concern was addressed, but primarily by you, because it's something that a lot of folks haven't had to deal with yet. And it was just very, very productive. I'm so glad I did it because it was very productive. I took the time out to just sit there and soak it in.
Cool. No, everybody did, which I was impressed. And just so everybody watching knows, so the mastermind format, other than some updates we give each other, is typically hot seats. And so we get to Claudia, we say, all right, Claudia, give us one issue in about a minute or 2 or 3 that you want help on. It could be a challenge, could be something you're trying to better, it could be a marketing, it doesn't matter. It's whatever you want. And then the whole team, in this case, our high 6 had last night, I don't know, 7 of us or 8 of us on.
I think it was, 7 or 8.
The screen, but somewhere around there.
I don't remember now.
But they all chime in, so it's super helpful. And so I just wanted for them to hear you on that, because the high 6 we're constantly adding things to, and I think it's going very, very well for everybody.
And there's a wealth of varied experience there. Some of the newer members of the high 6 have other business type backgrounds, and they were able to contribute based on their experiences there. So
that's right. Good point.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, good point. And then just for those people who may not have met you, even though you're probably famous now, prior to Smart Coach, your real estate experience?
It was casual to start with. Had a few rentals, very few, 3 or 4, 3, I guess, actually. One with myself, one by myself, and a couple with a partner. And discovered that I really don't care to be a landlord. I didn't lose any money on any of them. I didn't make a lot of money on any of them, but I did break even. And, went through that. actually started that process in '08 and was fortunate enough to come out even on that particular house. But prior to that, I'd done a variety of notes and things like that in again, casual. It was not a business. It was just something I did with my money at that time. So.
And we're talking now, and you just popped that deal, and then you have the owner financing deal you and I are doing together that you're in the process of, well, you already sold it. You're in the process of getting paid on it.
Yeah.
Do you recall, we won't go through that whole deal, but just so they know, these both happened like within 30 days. Do you know all 3 paydays in that? I definitely don't have that in front of me, like ballpark.
I can get it for you, but because I do have a guesstimate on that. That one is selling. Stand by just a sec. I can get that.
And I think I'll talk while you're getting that, Claudia, for these guys to hear. Claudia's average out in Arizona runs around 45 or 50 grand all 3 paydays. You have that end of the spectrum all the way up to 110 grand all 3 paydays in DC. And in the middle, we're at about a 75. So for everybody to know that all the markets differ, but Claudia's not upset with averages of 45 to 50.
I can live with it. I can live with it. In fact, I'm actually, and I shouldn't say this just to jinx it, but I'm anticipating 2 or 3 cash outs next year.
Nice. No, that's right. That's about right for you for 19.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sweet.
So I'm very, very much looking forward to that.
Touchdown.
So this one, is an interesting situation. The initial payday 1 is 12,000, but the buyer wants to add 2,500 a month starting in February after we get through the holidays. So I'm looking at approximately 62,000 in the payday 1.
Sweet.
Payday 2 is actually 0 or less.
Remember that. And
then payday 3 is 64.3 because this is an owner carry, and my payments to the seller are large. They're $1,750 a month.
All principal though.
All principal. So
that's why there's no 2, just so everybody knows.
That's right. So it's that payday 3 is
rather large.
64,320. So I'm looking at let's see, actually I'd have to add those 2. It looks like 120. But that was handwritten in a hurry, so let's not bet on that.
You're probably close. I just want them to hear that because you're steady Eddie and you stick at it, and as a result, 19 is ratcheting up for you. There's no question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, we could keep going, but we got to figure out that these guys will have to listen to us. So I appreciate you being on again, and appreciate you being part of High Six, and hopefully these guys will get some value out of it. Thanks again.
Thank you, Chris. It was fun.